you are known as a body language expert. What is something you want to share with speakers about body language?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Look, I think if you really want to use some great body language, some great gestures, and really use space to your advantage, tell stories by seeing those stories play out in your head first. And this comes from the world of interpreting, where interpreters will go from one language into another language. There's an expression that interpreters learn, and the expression is, if you can see it, you can say it. In other words, if you're listening to something, if you can really see the picture in your head, then you can interpret that into another language. What I would say is, if you can see it in your head and you can see how things relate to each other in space, then you can tell a story and use great body language. For example, if you're talking to somebody who's taller than you and you can see them in your mind's eye, then when you step into role playing, you can be looking up at that person or looking down at them if they're a child. I recently worked with somebody who was, he was in a tank fighting in the largest tank battle since World War II. And when he was telling me his story, it was incredible. But he really told his story well when I asked him to think about, okay, where were you sitting in the tank? Where was the gunner, the loader, the commander? Oh, he's behind you. Okay, where were the other tanks in relation to you? And once he could see it in his mind's eye, he started describing the tanks coming this way, some tanks moving over to outflank us. You know, the loader over here was saying, close the hatch, close. Like, I can't wait for other people to hear his story. I don't want to tell his story. It's fantastic. But if you can see in your mind's eye the story you're telling, then you will naturally refer to characters and important pieces of your story in space, and it will seem very authentic, very real, because you can see it. Again, borrowing from the world of interpreters. If you can see it, you can say it.
I love that. And it seems like a very natural tool for people to use. Just one thing, see it in your head, and your body will naturally then talk about the space around you. And I love how that brings me into the audience. Right now you were talking about the tank story. I was totally there with you. You could see everything around it. It's fantastic.
And you don't have to learn any new gestures for this, right? Most people, when they're telling a story or they're doing a presentation, are thinking very specifically about the points. Whereas if you can just see it and rely on your vision, your mind's eye, you'll naturally do the things that are very charismatic and really bring your story to life.